What's the one main thing that you can do that can help you to fix your imposter syndrome and help you power through in your business regardless? So would you like to be able to overcome imposter syndrome that sneaks up and gets in the way when you're trying to show up, trying to build your business your way, and these little niggly doubts creep in and get in the way of you achieving the things that you want to? So today in this episode, I'm going to give you the one main thing that you can do, but 3 proven ways that you can actually fix imposter syndrome and help you push through regardless. Imposter syndrome is so common, and especially in business owners, and it affects so many people. And it's time to kind of crack down on this crippling disease and attack this one head on. So inside of this episode, I'm going to be giving you the truth about imposter syndrome and where it comes from, what it means, and how to identify if you suffer from it. I'm going to give you 3 ways that you can learn to live with it and overcome imposter syndrome in your business, and discover the one thing that will help you to get out of stuck and into action that you can do right now. So stick around for this whole video and join in the conversation with me. I've got something awesome to share with you at the end as well, so stick around. So welcome to the Brilliantly You Business Show. I'm so happy to have you here. My name is Jenny Stevens, in case we're meeting for the first time. Thanks so much for being here, hanging out with me today. I help coach and train other online business owners to be able to build their business online, leveraging their talents, their time, and their self-trust so you can attract your perfect customers to you, have a business with offers that you love, and leverage your time so you're not chained to your phone and chained to your business, so you can actually build that around the lifestyle that you want and have your business running 24/7. And I help you with the mindset piece as well, so helping to overcome those limiting beliefs that get in the way, and that's based on my own experience and my own journey that I have gone through, and now I get to help my clients do the same thing, which is awesome. So every single week, I publish a new episode. So make sure that you subscribe, hit the notification bell so you get notified every time we go live and a new episode drops in. And let's dive in to this week's topic. So before we kind of talk about how do you fix imposter syndrome, let's start off talking about what is it? What is imposter syndrome? Maybe you're not quite sure what it actually means. So I'm going to just talk a little bit about where it comes from, what it looks like, and then that will help you to kind of see if it does creep up for you as well. So first off, the term imposter syndrome is defined as this feeling that you get inside and internally that we are inadequate in some way. We feel like we're not as good as maybe some people might perceive us to be, despite accomplishments and results that you've achieved. And it's that niggling feeling about being found out for not being as good as people think you are, or that maybe you can't measure up to what you're trying to be because of this feeling of not feeling good enough, not knowing enough, not being experienced enough, not having enough results, all of this not quite enough stuff. But the word imposter it's that feeling like you don't belong. You think about, when you think of the word imposter, you might think about somebody intruding on your home. You know, they're not meant to be there. And so this is kind of where the thing is, when you're running a business, it's like, well, that's not quite the case. But this word of imposter is that feeling like, doesn't matter regardless if you've got results or you've achieved certain things, you feel like maybe you achieved it just out of luck rather than kind of accepting that you got there for a reason. And when I was looking up kind of the backstory on this and where this came from, I found that it started out in the 1970s by psychologists who created the term initially that was imposter phenomenon. And it was mostly perceived to be in high achieving women, mostly having this internal debate. But obviously turns out, you know, after all these years, it's not just high achieving women, it's way more common. And even not even people just in business, you know, I've got friends who are teachers and different things that it comes up as well. So it's so common. That's kind of where it comes from. And how I first started experiencing it, I mean, I started my business back in 2014, and I didn't really notice it very much in the beginning. You know, I was eager, I was excited, and I was mostly focused on, well, I was focused on selling direct sales products. So it was somebody else's product. And so it wasn't really a thing particularly. The only time I guess it kind of came in was when it was thinking about team building, and I was a bit like, oh, well, I don't know quite how to do this. But I didn't really know, I certainly didn't notice it back then. But the time that I did really start to notice more of this mindset issue, and especially imposter syndrome for me, was in 2017 when I quit my job and I decided I was going to kind of leave the safety net of my job and go all in on my business. And that was when I wanted to start creating more of my own stuff. So creating my own courses, my own coaching program, and putting more of me into the things that I was selling. And that's when things started escalating, and all these new doubts started flooding into my head. It certainly seemed a lot easier when I was promoting affiliate products. I did a mixture of direct sales, then I was promoting affiliate trainings and courses and stuff like that. But it wasn't my work in the actual thing that I was selling. I was just getting a commission for it, and I was being that tour guide, if you like. I was doing the marketing, telling people about my experience and my results that I was getting. But it wasn't like me inside of what was being sold. So again, it didn't really come out too much then, but it was definitely when I was putting more of me inside of what was being sold, you know, creating the courses and stuff, that suddenly I was getting a lot of these feelings. But essentially, when it comes from learning, it comes about when you're learning anything new, doesn't it? You know, you think about anytime you might start a new job, maybe being promoted, and, you know, have this feeling of, oh God, can I actually do this? Am I going to be good enough? Is someone going to change their mind? You know, but it is this feeling like you don't know enough. You know, in the business world, it is this feeling like maybe you don't know enough yet to be seen as an expert or an authority in your industry, especially if you're newer potentially. But at the end of the day, you know, wondering maybe, oh, who's going to listen to me? But at the end of the day, we all started somewhere, didn't we? We all start at the beginning at some point, whether that was yesterday, 6 months ago, 10 years ago, it doesn't matter. We all started in the beginning. And this word, this imposter, needs to stop, because at the end of the day, thinking about that definition of imposter with someone doesn't belong, that's not the case when you're a business owner, when you're running your own business, because at the end of the day, you're here. It's bullshit. You're here. You're running your business. You made a decision to start a business for yourself and for others, and whatever your kind of reasons and intentions and purpose is, but you made a decision to start your business. You have big goals, and you're not going anywhere, are you? You're not going anywhere. And so that word imposter needs to stop. So the one thing that you can stop doing right now is using that word imposter for yourself, because you absolutely do belong. You are here and you are not going anywhere, are you? The fact is, the reality is, you're not an imposter. You're just having some self-doubt. And that can be sorted out pretty easily. So just know as well that you're not alone. Every business owner and person has this feelings of inadequacy at times. It's natural. Like I say, whether it's a new job you've been promoted to, maybe you're learning a new skill, or you're getting some new experience with something that you've not done before. If you are putting out a new product or service out into the world, there is this feeling of a bit of doubt. The key, though, is learning how to push through it and push through that feeling anyway, and learn to deal with it whilst you kick ass and you take action regardless. Yeah? Are you with me? I'm sure you are. Okay, so let's dive into then the 3 ways that you can fix imposter syndrome. So number 1, the first way that you can fix imposter syndrome is to focus on your thoughts and interrupt them. It all starts with a thought. So let's look at how imposter syndrome comes in. It starts with a thought, a feeling, a bit of doubt, or a bit of insecurity or something. And that then turns into feeling. So the thought turns into the feeling of doubt. And then those feelings turn into some kind of action. But in the negative aspect, it's inaction, because what happens when you feel like you're not good enough? You sort of retreat. And that certainly happens for me. I feel like I want to sort of hide in the background. I want to just do work and tasks that are more behind the scenes things. I don't really want to be seen as much. I'm not going to be, telling people about my stuff that I can offer them. So it's the inaction. So we want to reverse that. So again, it starts with the thought. So I want you to think about and catch when those thoughts of doubt start creeping in. And that little voice starts getting in, and there's a little niggle. And it's saying things like, you're not good enough. Who do you think you are? You can't do this. You're too new. You don't know enough yet. Who's going to buy from you anyway? I'm not as good as so-and-so, right? All of these things, these are your cue to then interrupt it. You shut up that doubt devil, who I like to call Dave. Shut up, Dave, and say, no, I'm not having this, and sort of quickly turn it around and think about, okay, how might I now be able to flip this to the opposite positive saying instead? Okay. And again, you can put these into your own words, but some examples might be, I know enough right now that can help someone. I am great at what I do. I have already helped someone and I can help more. I have things worthy to say and share. There is no one like me and can do what I do in my way, and that's awesome. So again, make these your own, whatever feels right for you, the wording, the phrases, but it's just really important to look at and be aware and notice what are the thoughts that are coming into your mind, interrupt it, and then flip it on its head. And again, replace it with the positive opposite of that. So then little Dave, the doubt devil, he's going to try and get in your way. But by doing that, you're then going to take back the control and the power of your thoughts, because you do control your thoughts. Like I say, they try to creep in, but when you slam it in and go, no, 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 that's you taking back the power and control. And so the quicker you interrupt it and tell your mind what you want instead. So you tell your mind what you want to think. Tell your mind what you want to feel. Tell your mind what you want to do in action instead, and your mind will do what you think it wants to do. So you've got to keep repeating this and repeating this and repeating this until that then becomes your new normal, okay? So it's really powerful. So the biggest piece is about becoming aware, ears and eyes open to yourself, to your inner chat. And then the quicker you can interrupt it and say, no, we're not having that. We're going to do this instead. Then it's not like this sort of seed of weeds, that then starts filtering out everywhere. So then number 2, the second way with how you can fix imposter syndrome is, firstly, I just want to be a little bit real, okay? Because at the end of the day, we all have doubts and feel inadequate at some time. The difference, though, between what stands in the way of success and you reaching your goals that you want and failing is quitting. And we're not going to quit. We're not quitters. So you can avoid that by always taking action. So my second fix to imposter syndrome is always take action. Even if it's something small that you can do. It doesn't matter if it's tiny, just do something. And those small actions that you do, regardless of that inner chatter going on, and you're going to slam them to the ground. It keeps you in motion. You'll make progress regardless. Doesn't matter if the thing that you can do is just really small right now, but always take action. So even if you're new in your business, and you're trying something new, you have got something to share. If you're doing maybe a bigger project, just do something that is going to chip away at that task list that's going to build up to that project. Keep going. Keep showing up online. Tell people, hey, I'm here. This is what I've got to offer. This is what I do. And the cool thing, especially if you are new, because this is where a lot of it comes in, is you don't need to have been in business for 5 years, 10 years to make a difference. You know enough right now that you can help somebody. Isn't it great to think you can help, just even if it's just one person today? Is that worth it? It is to me. So just know that you know enough right now that you can help somebody today. And anything that you learn, if you are one of those, if you are someone who is newer and you have these feelings of, I don't know enough yet, I'm not experienced enough yet, I haven't had enough results yet, you know more today than you did yesterday. And there's somebody else who is you maybe 3 months ago. So do you think that you've got something that you can help them with? Yeah, you can. So all you need, you only need to be like a couple of steps ahead, and you've got something to share. So what, you be that person to share. So when I was in the beginning stages of my business, I just want to share this little bit with you because this was really helpful for me. So when I was kind of getting started with making a shift in how I was showing up online, because I was all about kind of promoting the direct sales products. It was all about the products and the company. And then I learned more about attraction marketing and personal branding, branding myself rather than the products and the company. And I then started learning about how to create, valuable content and doing things like this, Facebook Lives and videos and blog, but just creating value rather than just, sell. And one of the things that I notice a lot of people in the community that I was in, and I see elsewhere as well, is people feel like they've got to pretend that they're more successful than what they are. Sometimes they need to feel like, oh, well, I want to be seeing myself as an expert, so I need to pretend like I've got better results than what I've got, or I'm further along. But the truth is you don't. So what I did, and this might be helpful for you, is I was honest and, shared that I'm on this journey of learning how to use social media more effectively and learning about attraction marketing and how to attract people to me. And I want to share that journey with you as I learn new things. You can kind of come along for the ride, and I'll share everything that I'm learning with you. So it's a really nice way of, you can still create authority, you can still build influence, but you're doing it with authenticity and integrity. You're not doing this fake it till you make it. You're not pretending to be somebody or have things that you haven't, but you're saying, I'm learning some awesome stuff right now. I'm going through this journey of learning how to do, if you're going through a qualification or something, and you're going to start sharing more awesome stuff with people and for them to follow along with you on your journey. And that's going to be so much more attractive than someone who's pretending to be something. And that's certainly where that imposter feeling is going to come from, if you are pretending to be more than what you are, because that imposter syndrome is just that feeling of you're going to get found out for someone that you're not. So if you're upfront about it and say, hey, I'm, just getting started in this new business, I'm really excited about it, I'd love, fill in the blank, the industry that you're in, and I'm going to be sharing with you things that I'm learning. And again, it depends on what you do. But especially when you're kind of teaching, like doing business, teaching things like how to grow on social media and stuff like that, we all learn constantly. And even you could be an expert and then Facebook or Instagram, makes a change and everything is new. Reels are like the new hot thing. So everyone's learning about reels and TikToks and stuff like that. Everybody's always learning. So people want real. They want real. And like I mentioned, you just need to be a couple of steps ahead. So get that out of your mind, okay? And just get yourself out there. Just start showing up. Take that consistent action. Because at the end of the day, you can't afford to allow imposter syndrome to get in the way too much, right? You're building a business. You've got bills to pay, food to put on the table. We've got to run a business. We can't just shy away. Unless you just want it as a hobby, then fair dues. But, most people, they want to build this business because they've got big goals. So you can't afford to allow imposter syndrome to stand in your way too much. Like I said, there will be times when you've got to work through stuff, but you've got to take consistent action regardless. So this is where pushing through whilst you're working on this and building up this muscle and this skill of interrupting, your thoughts is going to come into play. And just know that it is part of the package. It's part of the parcel, And soon enough, though, when you go through step 3, which I'll share in a second, you won't even need to feel that uncomfortable. And action is going to really reduce and diminish any feelings of fear and doubt. Because no matter what, when you are in action mode, you are always making progress, even if it's small, tiny steps. And that's better than nothing, right? So then the third way to be able to fix imposter syndrome is working on the root cause. And this is for the longer term ease, the longer term healing, if you like, okay? So steps 1 and 2, you can do right now and power through anyway. But that longer term solution to fixing imposter syndrome is to really kind of understand and look at, where does this come from for you? I'm not talking about the fact that imposter syndrome started from the 1970s. I'm talking about, where does your belief system, your doubt, your feelings of I'm not good enough, where does that come from for you, from your life? Because it's not there for nothing. It's come from somewhere. What I found in my own journey was that even after, so once I quit my job, after 3 years, I was still in a really similar position financially. Like, my revenue hadn't grown that much. I'd made progress in my skills, sure, and I'd learned a lot and I'd done a ton, but I still felt like I was in the same kind of place. And I was being mindful of my thoughts, but it kind of felt like it was just a plaster over the top of the deep-rooted belief that I needed to sort it out properly. And that's where I started learning about all of this kind of mindset stuff. And I started learning then about the subconscious mind and the work that I discovered and I now offer to my clients, which is getting to that root cause with the subconscious mind. And it was so pivotal in my continued journey in my own business. And I'm always working on things. But when I discovered that, I was able to really look inside to be like, how come I'm always doubting myself? The problem is, if you don't look at this and you don't look at truly healing these old beliefs, because if they are getting in your way, there are some things there, it's going to keep coming back. The subconscious mind is like your autopilot. You know, you think about when you get up in the morning, you've probably got a very set routine that you just do without even thinking. Brushing your teeth, driving to the shop, like whatever it is, you just do it without thinking. And that's what that subconscious mind is. It's, you might have bits and pieces when things are easier, but you end up coming back because that's that core belief system. So when you can work and discover what that root cause is, you can truly heal it. You can do that replacement and replace it with the stuff that you do want to feel, the actions that you do want to take, the way you do want to feel about yourself and think and talk to yourself. And that's what I do in my work. And I've got this 5-week package right now. So using my enough to enrollment method, and it combines the subconscious work with action taking and accountability. And it allows you to be able to understand these beliefs from the first place and replace those beliefs with new, positive, and empowering ones instead. That allows you to kind of actually get past any, feelings of sadness or anger or hurt or abandonment or whatever it is, and feel refreshed and renewed and ready to go and lighter, and let go of that baggage. And so often we don't even know it's there. We don't even realize that these things even existed inside of us. And so that's where I get to do this work with my clients now, and can do with you. It's so powerful. So it uses a hypnotherapy to talk to the subconscious mind, and it's helped me massively, and it's helped my clients massively. So I know some people may not have been able to have got involved in my bigger 3-month one-to-one package. So this is a shorter kind of reboot, refresh type rapid package. So this is a 5-week package. It's called my Rapid Enough to Enrollment package. This is 5 weeks of us working one-to-one, and it's a mixture of that subconscious healing with accountability and action taking coaching sessions together. And I'm opening up, I've got a few limited spots. So I've got 3 spots right now that are open right now. So if you weren't able to do the 3-month package but you've been interested and wanted to work with me, then this might be the thing for you. So check around this video for a link to any of the show notes and any of the resources, so you can get more information and see if this is fit, and you can get yourself locked in if that's what you want to do. At the end of the day, we all want to be more confident. Yeah. By doing this work in myself, obviously I can only talk from my experience and the work that I've done with my clients, but for myself, doing this work enabled me to see me, like the real me, and love her. It allowed me to see my uniqueness and embrace it. It enabled me to accept myself for who I am and the path that I've gone on. It's enabled me to fully trust myself and the skills that I've learned along the way and continue to learn, and be able to turn those into, offers, and put myself out there and, test, put things out there and see, okay, do people want to join this? Do people like the sound of this? Can I help people with this idea that I've got? And it's allowed me to show up so much more confidently, knowing that I can make an impact on other people. And that's what I help my clients and can help you with, is helping you to be able to make more sales and more impact, and finally start earning your worth by being confident in yourself and what you can do. Isn't that what we really want? Is to feel confident in us, helping you to show up authentically, knowing that you can make an impact on people and be paid well in return. So if you feel like imposter syndrome is something that you can recognize and you can see it might be getting in your way a little bit, and you've tried everything else, and this might be the perfect solution for you. So if you're interested, check around this video for a link to the show notes. I'm also going to put a couple of other resources in the show notes for you. There's a masterclass that I'm going to put in there that will be really helpful, and just kind of help you to take the next steps with that, for you to help you with that. Okay. All 3 of these have helped me to overcome my own imposter syndrome. Okay. So let's just recap on those 3 quickly. So number 1 is get aware of your thoughts, interrupt the negative and switch it into a positive. Number 2 was take consistent action, regardless of how you're feeling. So you're always making progress. And then number 3 is get curious and work on your deep-rooted beliefs, your core belief system, so that you can heal and let go, and allowing that new, positive, true you to emerge, so you can be your best self for your business, for your customers, for your clients. And that's just going to be so transformative, however that looks like for you. Okay. So like I mentioned, if you're curious about number 3 and you want to learn how we can work together, then that's the 5-week rapid enough to enrollment package that I've got for you. So click on any links below. They'll be in the resources section of the show notes at the bottom of, if you're on the show notes, at the bottom of this page, and we can chat if you have any questions. Okay. So I hope you found this useful. I'd love to hear if any of this resonated with you and what some of your takeaways were. So do share that with me in the comments section where you can on this video, wherever you're watching this. I'd love to hear what you took away from this episode and what you're going to go and implement yourself now, and keep smashing through it. That negative talk can be a bitch, so you got to keep interrupting it, keep doing it, and it will just become second nature. And then soon enough, Dave will shut up. Dave will be so small that you can flick him away. And when you do all 3 of these things, he won't come back. He'll try to, but you won't let him in. And that's where that true kind of ease comes in. But you can do this. You're awesome. You've got everything you need in you right now to be able to help somebody. And just remember that always. So I hope you found this episode useful. Thank you for joining me. Do make sure you subscribe and tune in for every single week. I put out a new episode for the Brilliantly You Business Show. I'll be back next week. Feel free to share this episode with anybody else that you think would find this useful. Thank you so much for all the likes and all the loves. and everything. And I'll look forward to seeing you next time. Take care. Bye.